Life after the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD for the Jews and the Israelites. We kind of have a graphic of the historical events that took place and have taken place in the Eastern Hemisphere as far as the children of Israel are concerned, their captivity after the fall of Jerusalem by Titus, the Roman general. It's documented in several historical references. Some sources were written at the time. Many historians documented the events today. Also, there are references documented on stone, coins, and maps. When Jerusalem was captured in 70 AD by the general Titus, the Jews who were not killed and executed or starved to death from being trapped inside of the city, those who escaped into Egypt and into Africa as well, as we call it today. Those who were captured and kept alive by the Romans were taken into the Mediterranean, Europe, and Asia, and kept as slaves or lower citizens in the kingdoms of Rome. Thus the captivity continued for the children of Israel and Judah, as Deuteronomy chapter 28 promised. The promise was that if the Israelites rebelled against their God, all of the curses would come upon them in all of the lands that they would be scattered into. Their captivity is documented in many works. Obviously, we shared the Apocrypha showing that people were in captivity, still writing and receiving visions. But here we will display a few resources that document their captivities and life after the fall of Jerusalem in 70 AD. More directly, you have works like the works of Josephus. You have Lee Cummings, The Negro Question Part 2, the African slave ships that came from Judah. You have The Jews of Africa by Sidney Mendelssohn. You have From Babylon to Timbuktu, A History of Ancient Black Races, including the Black Hebrews by Rudolph R. Windsor. And we also have the Dead Sea Scrolls. Indirectly, there are works such as the Portuguese in West Africa, 1415 to 1670, a documentary history edited by Malin Newitt. We have Africans and Native Americans, The Language of Race and the Evolution of Red Black Peoples by Jack D. Forbes. We also have Christopher Columbus and the African Holocaust, Slavery and the Rise of European Capitalism by John Heinrich Clark. We have Creole New Orleans, Race and Americanization, edited by Hirsch and Logsdon. You have the Roman Empire, the Empire of the Edomite by William Beeston. Europe, The Struggle for Supremacy from 1453 to the Present by Brendan Sims. Nature Knows No Color Line by J.A. Rogers. And The Two Princes of Calabar by Randy J. Sparks. These works document to some degree what took place in the East as far as the children of Israel and Judah after 70 AD. They lived in Asia, Europe, and Africa, as well as in the islands as captives. Now, what about in the West? What is documented in the Western Hemisphere? Once again, there are plenty of works to document that a remnant of the children of Israel, called by different names, were in the Americas. You have the book View of the Hebrews, or the Tribes of Israel in America by Ethan Smith. Tim Jenkins, The Tribes of Israel, or the True History of the North American Indians, showing they are the descendants of the 10 tribes. You have Lost Tribes and Promised Lands, The Origins of American Racism by Ronald Sanders. Black Indians, A Hidden Heritage by William Lawrence Katz. One Fold and One Shepherd, John 10:16 by Thomas Stewart Ferguson. The Messiah in Ancient America by Warren Ferguson. These indirect writings describe the captivity of Israel from the Western Hemisphere. And what about direct writings or publications? The primary direct source is the Book of Mormon, otherwise known as the Stick of Joseph. And this will be continued.